954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all of our viewers and listeners tuning in with us here in INCRadio, Texas Satellite Studio. It is currently 12:37 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Texas, and today I'm one of your hosts, Justin Talioga, tuning in here from Austin, Texas, and it is currently 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that it is now March, we're now heading our way into the spring season. And before we continue on, we just want to greet a very happy anniversary to the INC Radio San Francisco satellite. So let's go ahead and and see who's with us today. Of course, we have our co-host with us, Sister Jamie. Sister Jamie, how are you?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to INC Radio. And I'd like to also greet San Francisco, my old stomping ground. A happy anniversary today as well.
Thanks so much for being here, Sister Jamie. And here also with us, we're going to head on our way to the San Antonio area. Brother Mark and Sister Lynn, how are y'all?
Good. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Nice to see you here, Brother Mark and Sister Lynn from the Universal City Local. And now let's head our way east, north, northeast. I don't know. So Sister Camille, how are you?
Hi, Brother Justin. I'm doing good. Hello to all the viewers and those who are tuning in to our INC Radio today.
Thank you so much for being here, Sister Camille. And last but surely not least, Sister Wendy. Sister Wendy, how are you?
Doing pretty well today. Thank you for asking. And hi, everybody. I'm Sister Wendy from local of Houston.
Thank you so much for being with us here, Sister Wendy. And looks like we have quite a bit of viewers and listeners who are with us today. Looks like we have Brother Timothy Wilcox tuning in with us, Grace Flores tuning in, and a Howen Buenaflor, I hope I pronounced that right, and also our very own CFO overseer, Brother Jeffrey Domingo, who's tuning in with us as well. And we also have our question of the day, of course, if that's not already in our live YouTube chat. And our question of the day is, what do you do for your evening routine? And that's actually our topic for today, because superior sleep, even though that might be hard for some of us to get, when winding down, what do you do in order to get some quality rest? And that's what we're going to talk about for today. So let's go ahead and ask each other. So what do you do for your evening routine?
I think this is such a great topic because it forces all of us to maybe rethink having a evening routine, or if we don't have one already, or to maybe, improve it. Because I myself, as soon as I get home, I, like cook dinner. And, it takes a long time for me to wind down, and I end up staying up late, watching TV. So I don't really truly get the superior sleep that I should get. Like I set an alarm for myself at like 10:30 to like it's time for bed. But I hit snooze, or I just, like turn off the alarm, and it's like I keep watching TV or doing other things. So I think this is a great topic for us to maybe reflect and rethink, our routines. Sister Camille, do you have any like routines that you, I guess, like, or may or may not have, or something that you can share with us?
Thank you, Sister Jamie. For me, I normally like shower the night before, right? So like before I sleep, I'll take a shower. Sometimes I'm being bad by like eating. I eat like a nice little tiny meal before I sleep, and then I watch a little bit of like an episode of my show. I try to put my phone aside because I have the tendency to check my social media one last time, and the one last time can extend to like a whole night of one last time before I sleep, and so I end up not getting a good sleep. So I think if when I do that, then I feel a little bit more tired already, so it kind of makes me sleepy. So
Yeah, I think we were
Oh,
talking about this earlier beforehand too. Sometimes you don't really think about the type of sleep that you get or what helps you go to sleep, and it really affects you the next day. You might be tired or groggy. And then when I was reading over some of the topics, I was like, I do actually have a routine, and it helps me go to sleep. So I think superior sleep is. I think this is going to be a great topic.
I, I'm very guilty with what Sister Camille said when it comes to being on social media late at night, because of course when you're on social media, or really when you're just on your phone in general. And like I remember there's this one time I was watching a movie, and this was a Friday night, so not much was happening Friday the next Saturday morning. So it was okay that I did this, but I saw this movie online that I really wanted to watch. I'm like, oh wow, what time is it? 12 midnight. I'll watch it. I'll go ahead and watch it. But I mean, yes, I did end up getting a lot of sleep afterwards because yes, it was the weekend. But but of course I didn't get up until like I couldn't get up until like 10 o'clock. and and of course, but of course, it's always nice for us to have a good routine, or maybe just get us into a good mindset that way we can get that superior sleep. But so I want to go back to Sister Camille. So is there anything that you do when you get that in order to get that superior sleep?
For me, I think the showering before. I think it kind of makes me already really tired, and then you kind of feel fresh, right? You put on your clean clothes, and then you see your bed there just waiting for you, and just resisting temptation. Like put your phone down, put it on charger, set your alarms for the next day, and then obviously we pray before we sleep. But once you fix all those things, for me those are the main things. Like I don't have so many things. Sometimes I'll like if I drink coffee, then maybe my sleep will be pushed back. But otherwise, the showering for me makes me drained because I shower hot. I don't know if anybody showers cold.
I have to agree with you, Sister Camille, on that. Like I think in one of our other shows we talked about like how we can shorten our morning routine. So I was watching this video on a lot of like Japanese workers. They shower the night before so they can like cut their morning routine. But to your point, it's so true that there's something about like showering and it's like in hot shower where you really truly do relax and you do kind of start to just like like you feel like that tiredness kind of like for the whole day and it's nice to definitely wash kind of like all the probably like all the dirt and grime that you came across that whole day. But to your and it's so true, it's now the temptation of, oh, do I want to look at my phone before like my shut eye, or really should I just really like after shower get into bed, lights out and just go to sleep. I always pick the former. I, for some reason, would start watching TV or get on my phone, and that's when I think the whole the whole thing gets ruined. But I totally agree about the showering thing. If you guys haven't tried it out there, especially hot Texas summers, it's like the best thing to do because it's so hot the whole day, and you just shower off, cool down, and and kind of get like that night's rest. I also like temperature like to be cooler, and it's unfortunate sometimes because some prefer like hot and some prefer cold, and I'm one of those that prefer like a cold like temperature like surrounding for me to go to sleep. Otherwise I'm just gonna be miserable. What about you guys?
I actually like how Sister Camille I use that a method taking a shower, especially during the summer. I don't know about y'all, but during the summers, I take it cold because all of us are in Texas, especially when you're over there in the Houston Humble area where Sister Camille is. It's very humid, so taking the cold shower actually does it actually helps. And then oh look, I just froze right there. And then and it really helps with getting that good sleep. But when it comes to getting that superior sleep, is there something that we consider us as to use as a reward when it comes to again that superior sleep, or is the sleep itself the reward, if that makes sense? I want to ask this to brother Mark and sister Lynn. What do y'all think?
I think sleep for me is for sure the reward. Like it doesn't matter what I do throughout the day or night for the routine, so to say. But I think just waking up the next morning feeling refreshed and like, oh, I'm not tired this morning. I think that's the best reward. And like, yeah, I got a good night's sleep last night. Wait,
For me, it's definitely sleep because I have a hard time getting that superior sleep, and so like just bouncing. Okay, so I work night shift, and so half the week I'm working nights, and then the other half I'm like having to like my bounce back. So I'm actually, even though I work night shift, I'm not a night person, and so I'll sleep. My sleep is just off. But during the when I'm not at work, I actually wake up wake up early and I sleep early.
I think either way, it's like, yeah, she doesn't really get good sleep at night, and or whenever day, I guess her night, our daytime. But when her time clock is back on setting, like when we both have the days off, like during the weekends, it doesn't matter what time she goes to sleep. For some reason, like we were talking about earlier, 5 o'clock, I think she's already awake and starting to clean or do something, and I'm like, how about you just go to sleep and catch back up? I can't do that.
Well, I think that's what naps are for, maybe sometime
Oh
later
yes, naps.
on
I
the
love
afternoon.
naps.
But I think, at the same time too, like I know that we have an impending time change. I mean, certain states don't do it, but for the state of Texas, we do that, fall back, spring forward situation. I really try to take advantage of the fall back one because you gain 1 hour. So it's like, yes, I'm gonna go to sleep at 9 o'clock at night, so I fully get like a 12 hour, 12 hour sleep. But at least that's that's always the plan. But sometimes it doesn't happen.
It's really nice that some of us are trying to be productive in order to get that superior sleep, like what Sister Lynn said. In fact, there are times when I can't sleep. That's something I try to do. Like you would like, and then next thing you know, at it would be like midnight or 11 p.m. at night, and then and whoever it is I'm staying with, they would hear like a lot of shifting around. They're like, Justin, what are you doing? I can't sleep. Okay. I like it, whether they be shifting around furniture or putting stuff away. I just really had to find stuff to do whenever it would come to getting that superior sleep. And before we move on with this with this topic discussion, looks like we have quite a bit of viewers and listeners tuning in with us. So Sister Wendy, who do you have tuning in with us right now?
We do have a good amount of folks. We have Melanie tuning in with us, and she did also share with us her routine before bed is to have some tea and a good book. And also, we have Brother Archie. Also, he shared with us try to avoid looking at social media, which I think it's been a recurring topic that I've heard so far as well, and also making sure that he does all the tasks before he goes to bed, which I can definitely feel that because those lists do keep us up. And we also have Jasmine tuning in from San Diego, so we do have a really good number of folks tuning in and a lot of good comments flowing in.
Yes, we do have quite a bit of viewers and listeners tuning in with us, especially from our very own brother Nathaniel Russell, who's tuning in with us, and he says yes, by August the water stops being cold. And then so we have another comment here from our multimedia advisor, brother Archie. He says, I also try to make sure that I did all my tasks and planned the next day's activities. I would feel stressed if I know if I haven't thought of what I must do tomorrow, and that will keep me awake. Okay, does anyone has anyone else here had that moment while they were in school? Like like it's like it'll be 9 p.m. You're in your bed, the lights are off, you're relaxing your covers. The next thing you know, you're just like, I didn't do my project yet. Has anyone else here had that moment? I'm
I
just
just
curious.
I just had that moment, brother Justin. One of my friends is borrowing one of my accounts to watch something, and she messaged me like maybe 2 p.m. So then I was really busy, and so I took a nap around 11:30 p.m., which is my usual nighttime, right? So then I woke up at 12:30, and I was freaking out because I said I didn't reply to her at all. Like she needed my code, so then I texted her. Thankfully, she was still awake, but it woke me up from my sleep knowing I didn't reply to her and her time of need. So yeah, that's what reminded me of what you said.
I've had something similar to that too, not for school, but for work. Like if we would have a special event, or I know that there's something different that I have to be at work a little bit earlier, I would try and get the superior sleep that we need, right? So I would try and do my routine a little bit early, get ready for bed, and then I would go to sleep. But I would set like 7 alarms ahead of time of the normal time, and then I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. I'm gonna wake up for sure. I'm not gonna be late, and then I'll go to sleep, and then I'll wake up instantly like I'm gonna be late. I didn't hear the alarm, and I'll look, and I've only been asleep for maybe 2 hours. So that's something that scares me too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be my problem. Like, especially if you know that you have to be awake really early the next day, where you're constantly like waking up on the hour because you don't want to be late. So you end up not getting that superior sleep. I mean, even though you went to bed early. So way back when I used to perform early morning services, it's yeah, I don't sleep because I'm constantly like, is it 3? Is it 3? And it's only like, like 11. It's like, no. So yeah, so you're even more tired when you're like paranoid that you're not going to wake up when your alarm goes off.
Or you keep counting how many hours is left. If I sleep now, I'd have 3 hours. If I
I
don't
do
sleep
that
now, I
too.
only.
I do that too. I used to do that while I was still in school because when I was still in college, at my campus, the library would be open for 24 hours. So students would literally be there from from sunrise to sunrise. And then there was this one time, right? I was with one of my friends. We were studying for our own classes, and then it was already midnight or 2 in the morning, and I'm just like, okay, dude, I'm just gonna call it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call. I have to go home. Plus, I have class in the morning, so if I leave now, then I could at least get a good 6 hours. You should go too. And the next you know, about the next morning, we both saw each other. We were wearing totally different clothes, and it's like we never left. But we were still able to get a good amount of sleep. But we did see this one person in the library, and then we saw him the night before. We see him the next morning wearing the exact same clothes, and we're just like, did he stay here the whole night? How did he do that? Oh, uh, but yeah, it really is good for us to at least have that routine. Of course, be productive when it comes to getting that superior sleep. And looks like we have even more viewers and listeners tuning in with us. Like we have Vince Carl Fortes, who says taking a shower after a long day helps along with soothing sounds such as white noise or rain. Okay, that I like, having sounds in the background. Or rain also helps with sleep, and he's tuning in from San Ramon, California for now. And I actually like listening to white noise. Does anyone else here do that when it comes to sleeping or at least relaxing?
Yes, my mom got me into watching, or she would have the YouTube channel for sleep. Like there's different versions too. Like there's all these like different themes. There's like a, like kind of like, Asian theme or whatever, but it really does help kind of just drown out, like your thoughts, and like you really do drift off to sleep. So if anybody has any good recommendation of those YouTube channels that have the sleep like music, send it our way.
Mr. Jamie, I don't know what kind of like white noise you like, but my brother sent me this link on YouTube and it's Thunderstorm. The specific one is about 10 hours long and it's like perfect. The sound of everything that drops is perfect. So that's one of mine. Even though it's like sunny outside and you close the curtains. Yeah.
Wow, thunderstorms. I would take you up on that, but my dog will be barking all night long. She doesn't like thunderstorms, and you would think she would just hide, but no, she will run around all over the house barking. you know but I'm gonna have to check it out though. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Or like I sometimes put on like my favorite sitcom that I've already memorized from like season 1 to 10, and I'll just put it there and I'll just fall asleep to it even though I'm like not sleepy. But when I hear it, the moment it's just kind of like, on a soft like volume 7 is my perfect volume 7 is perfect volume for me, then I'll fall asleep and drift off to that.
For me, I have a hard time sleeping when it's too quiet. So, like what Sister Camille said, with the TV, sometimes it doesn't have to be the white noise. It could just be watching TV before you go to sleep, and just to wind down. Mhm.
I think our oldest daughter too. Her name is Camille as well, and I think, for the longest time, I have to sleep in pure darkness and pure silence, and then for some reason, like, she didn't like that. So I think we invested in a sound machine before YouTube was a big thing, and that would keep me awake all night, but they would be sound asleep. So yeah, the sound machine, and I think till this day, 13 years later, she's still using a sound machine.
Brother Mark and Sister Lynn, I think we have just found our connection. That's awesome.
You know what else helps with what else can help with sleep? Uh, it's also light. Like, of course, sleeping in total darkness, yeah, that also helps. But I don't mean like have all the lights on and have like a lamp right in your face. No, that's not that. Plus, I'm pretty sure that that would waste power. No, because there are stores, right, and then they sell these they sell these machines, right? And then what these things do is that they project like these certain lights that give off a certain a colorful pattern. So it looks like you're in outer space. It looks like you're in a nebula. It's kind of hard for me to describe it. I have to show it to you. But but my cousin uses those. He's 8 years old, and then I'm like, oh wow, I could fall asleep within like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I've actually seen that, and I never used it, but I saw one where it was like a ball, and it wasn't projecting light, but it was a moon, so it was just there. But I thought those were pretty cool looking too.
Yeah, it's all those things. Like it's really colorful to see, and it's also relaxing and therapeutic just to see because some of those lights they kind of move, and I'm just like, wow, that's it's kind of like those little that little rotating toy that you would put in a baby crib, and then I don't know the science behind that, but if it works, it works. And it's really nice to see that all of us here we all have our own ways of getting that uh, of getting that superior sleep and we see how well it works and we have our own ways of staying away from those things and it's really nice that we had our time to discuss this. And unfortunately we are at that part of our show, but before we wrap up, Sister Wendy, uh, which comments do we have in our show today?
Yes, we got a couple more really good ones. Irene, she did say a really good massage will always give a good, relaxing sleep throughout the night. And then also we have Sister Abigail, that is, she drinks tea or milk. I'm seeing a couple of folks drink tea or milk. Those are always good. And she also adds honey or lemon, which sounds very delicious. Yeah, and there's also a very specific white noise about airplane and radio chatter, which is very special. I definitely want to try that out as well. So, yeah, with that, we do have really wonderful comments flowing in.
Nice. Thank you so much, Sister Wendy. And of course, to all of our viewers and listeners, and of course, to all of our participants here who have been with us here on INCRadio Texas Satellite Studio. And before we wrap up, of course, we can never forget to thank our multimedia advisor, Brother Archie Talents, our CFO overseer, Brother Jeffrey Domingo, our assistant district minister, Brother June Barzana, our district supervising minister, Brother Gino Ramilio, our executive producer, Brother Emmanuel Endaya, our station manager, Brother Arnel Solano, our CFO coordinator and SEBC CEO, Brother Angelo Arano Vimanalo, and of course, we can never forget to thank our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much for all your support in these programs. And before we wrap up, Brother Mark and Sister Lynn, do you have any greetings and shout outs for us?
Yes, thank you to everybody tuning in. Appreciate the support. Hello. Thank you.
Okay, all right. And how about you, Sister Camille? Do you have any greetings and shout outs for us?
Yes, Brother Justin, I just would like to send my greetings to all the members in our local congregation of Humble who are tuning in, to Brother Byrne, who's helping us as well, and our resident minister, Brother Armand David and his family. Well, thank you for tuning in, po.
Woo, shout out to Umble. All right. And Sister Jamie, how about you? Do you have any greetings and shout outs for us?
I do. Thank you all for tuning in to our show today. And I want to say a special shout out to my mom who's tuning in from Daly City, California, my old stomping ground.
Ooh, shout out to Daly City. Okay. And how about you, Sister Wayne? Do you have any greetings and shout outs for us?
Yes, shout out to everyone who tuned in and also leaving these wonderful comments. Thank you so, so much for taking the time. And also a special shout out to Local of Houston.
Shout out to Houston, H Town. All right. And thank you so much to all our viewers and listeners for tuning in with us here on INCRadio Texas. Be sure to tune in next week for INCRadio Texas, which is every Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, or every Sunday at 2:30 a.m. Philippine time. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our INCRadio YouTube channel. That's INCRadio DZE 954. If you don't know how to do that, all you have to do is just click the subscribe button, also the notification bell button. That way you can get all of the updates coming from from our many programs here on INC Radio. And coming after this, we have INC Radio South Central States. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.